Hey everyone, it's Mike. I just got off the Disney Treasure from an inclusive ship inspection. This ship is insane. We're talking next level theming, wild hidden details, and some of the coolest spaces Disney has ever built at sea. But here's the big question. Is this actually the best ship in the fleet or just type? We're breaking it all down right now.
Welcome, travellers, to Elevated Escapes, a luxury travel podcast hosted by Mike and Kristen Their, a husband and wife team who approach adventures from different perspectives. Mike is all about world-class golf and the best that Disney has to offer, while Kristen's seeking wellness retreats and rich historical and cultural experiences. Together, they're big on high-end cruises, unforgettable destinations, and discovering incredible culinary moments. Join them as they explore the world, one elevated escape at a time. Now, your hosts.
Welcome to episode number 5 of the Elevated Escapes podcast, being recorded in sunny Sarasota, Florida. I'm your host, Mike, joined by my wife and co-host, Kristen. Good evening, Susie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
We have another guest in studio. This is the first time he's ever been
Who's
on
that?
camera. It's
Oh,
Sailor Donald.
Sailor Donald.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. What's his role on the ship?
He's the cruise director.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, he's got the personality to be a cruise director. For those of you watching on our YouTube page, we also have Rhodey. He's taking a nap right now.
Kicking around here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
As usual. Can't be away from us.
So we have had a busy couple days, as you're well aware of, up at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night and Friday night.
Uh-huh.
Thursday night, I stayed DVC at Boulder Ridge to visit my friend Hippie Guy.
Very nice.
And then Friday night, I stayed Cash at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort.
Okay.
And the main reason for me going up there was to see my good friend Hippie Guy. But also, I did a cruise. What do they call it? A inspection of the Disney Treasure. I was invited by our what would you call TPI, our host agency.
Host agency.
They invited me to drive out to Port Canaveral and do a ship inspection. For those of you, I don't know how many of you listening have ever been to Port Canaveral, but it's only about an hour and 10 minutes from Disney property. So if you're going on a Disney cruise or any type of cruise and you want to do a pre or post, or both, Disney's and all the Orlando attractions are only about an hour 10, hour 15 max from the cruise port. So
now, how far is the cruise port from Vero Beach? Do you know?
Oh, it's a long way.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a long way. It's a couple hours because Vero's at least an hour and a half south of it's not too bad.
I didn't realize Port Canaveral was that far north.
It's a little bit. It's a little ways. Maybe an hour and a half. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, you could do, if you own Disney Vacation Club, you could do a pre or post at Vero Beach as well.
Nice.
So we've got
to point out our differences.
Yes,
what
go
did
ahead.
I do? Well, you were doing your ship inspection on Saturday.
You went to the opera.
Correct.
Who did you go see?
I saw La Boheme.
Who's that?
That's the name of the opera.
Oh, I thought that was the singer.
No.
Was it a fat chick?
No.
No.
Not
all fat opera singers fat?
Not all of them, no.
You have to be fat, though, to have that voice, right?
No, actually, the main male role was played by a South Korean gentleman. Not something you think about when you traditionally think about opera, but he was wonderful.
A Korean?
Yeah.
Was it South Korean?
Yeah, he was from Seoul. There were
Seoul,
two of them
South
in
Korea?
the cast who were from Seoul, yes.
Was it my friend Cha Kim?
It was not your friend Cha Kim.
My ex-coworker. Shout out if you're listening, Cha. Hello, gentlemen. Yeah, so I was up at Walt Disney World. Susie was at the opera. Isn't that what's that song? Is that a Paula Abdul song about opposites attract?
Yes.
Yes. You want me to sing, or is it too early on the show?
Too early on the show.
All right.
Oh boy.
So we'll get into the nitty gritty. I'll just give a little bit of the background The maiden voyage of the Disney Treasure was on 12/21/2024, so it looks like it was probably some type of a Christmas holiday
That sounds correct.
because they have been all 7-night cruises. Its home port is Port Canaveral.
So they're Caribbean cruises.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where else do they cruise?
Well, I mean, they reposition ships and take them over to Europe sometimes, but I mean, I think this is a dedicated Caribbean ship right now.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's doing the 7-night voyages. Capacity is 4,000 passengers. Crew is 1,555. The length, I don't know if you guys are cruise nerds, this might mean something to you. It meant nothing to me when I was doing my pre-show work. 1,119 feet. Does that mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
Okay. It's in the Wish class. The theming is designed around adventure and exploration.
Okay.
It is the first Disney ship with Disney parks inspired bars, and we'll get into that. That's one thing that I felt when I got on board was I felt like I was in Adventureland at the Magic Kingdom.
As soon as you walked on board?
Pretty much as soon as
Really?
as soon as I started walking through the restaurants and the bars, I felt like I was in Adventureland.
Okay. That's cool.
Now this I thought was fascinating. The 3 growth segments: millennials and younger adults,
Okay.
adults without children. It's Disney's fastest specific niche.
In the cruising sector?
That's correct.
Okay.
20% of adults on board sail without children, and everybody thinks that Disney Cruise Line is just for kids or young families with kids.
But now it's kind of pitched as a multi-generational thing, right?
It is a
grandparents
multi-generational.
and parents and then the kids.
But my business development manager, John, was telling me that this is one of the fastest growing segments, and that's who they're targeting right now.
Okay. So they designed this ship kind of to attract those demographics.
Yes.
Okay. And did you feel like it hit the mark? Did you feel like it was themed differently and felt different from the dream that we were on?
That's hard to say because I didn't spend extended time on the Treasure. From what I've seen of the 2 ships that I've been on, it's not hitting you over the face with Disney IP.
Okay.
I thought a lot of the areas was subtle.
Okay. So you think I'd like it?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Because that's a good gauge.
Whether or not you're going to like this Disney cruise.
Well, just in general, for people who, may not necessarily want to be Disney punched.
Right. I'll talk a little bit about the boarding process. It was, we showed up and we had to give them our ID and they kept it. In exchange, they gave you a lanyard. And then they took my backpack, put it through the x-ray machine, and then they took my backpack and put it on a bench and had a dog sniff it. And then we proceeded to board the ship. This was just a little holding room outside of the ship. Then we boarded the ship and they scanned our credentials and they took pictures of us and we were good to go. And then we got on the boat. So we didn't really enter the grand area where they read your names.
Okay.
So we kind of came in the butt of the, is that what they call it? The butt of the boat? What is it called?
The stern.
The stern. I think you asked me that question. Compared to the Dream, I felt it looked a little more upscale, and I know you watched several YouTube videos. Did you feel the same way?
I think so, but I think it's a bigger ship as well.
It is a bigger ship.
And the capacity, I think, is the same.
Yeah, I think the capacity is the same because they had a lot more activities and things to do than I remember on the Dream.
Okay. Well, just from the footage that I saw, it looks like a lot more lounges, and the kids area is huge.
Yeah, the kids area is are huge. There were, I think, a couple, and I didn't write down the names, but the kids' areas are fantastic. John was telling us that you just drop the kids off and go off and do your thing. And I know a lot of parents who have kids say that their kids don't even like leaving when they come to pick them up. And a lot of times the parents will just let them stay put if they're happy. And he also said that they will contact you if the kids are getting a little fussy or homesick,
Okay.
just to let you know that you might want to come down and pick them up.
But did they say, do they have food for kids?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Because I would wonder how that works. Like if you're going to go to,
Especially if you have, like,
dinner or something, if you
younger
have to
ones.
feed your kids ahead of time, or if they arrange for that.
Mm-hmm. What else did I want to touch on? Let's talk a little staterooms. And it was interesting because one of the rooms that we did tour, we toured the inside stateroom, which has a square footage of 169 to 204. I felt that that was spacious. I told you I wouldn't mind staying in an inside stateroom, especially because the price is a lot cheaper.
Which I never would have expected you to say.
I would have never either until I got into this, and I was like, you know your typical inside staterooms, how you feel claustrophobic and a little crunch. This was good size. Again, my friend John, or my guide John, he said to explain to your clients that there is only one bathroom. So if you're doing like a girls trip and you're splitting a cabin, that there is only going to be one bathroom, because one of the huge selling points of Disney Cruise Line is the split bathroom that most of the cabins have. Because you were a fan of that
I was a big
we
fan
did
of
our
that,
dream.
yes.
And I know my friend Alex, who is about as anti-Disney as they come, went on a multi-gen trip, and he said that he absolutely loved the split bathrooms.
And what that means is you have kind of a water closet where you have a toilet and a sink, and then you have a separate room with a shower and another sink.
Right. So you're not getting two separate bathrooms.
Right.
Like a lot of some of the resorts have, where you can both take showers at the same time before you're heading out to dinner.
But it is nice, especially if you're with, say a friend or a parent or not your spouse, that, if somebody's in the shower and somebody needs to use the restroom, that you don't have to intrude or hold it until that person's out.
What other categories did they have? They had the deluxe ocean view stateroom. So that is one that just has a porthole overlooking the ocean. Those check in at 204 to 241 square feet. And then we have the deluxe ocean view staterooms with veranda, 246 to 299 square footage. And I did notice, because we were in the regular veranda, and it felt a lot smaller than that family veranda that we're on. It was noticeable.
Okay.
It was noticeable, because I remember we were questioning whether or not it was worth the $50 extra a night or whatever
Right.
it was. Yeah, it was noticeably smaller.
Okay.
And then finally, we have concierge family ocean view with veranda at 296 feet. And that's going to round out your typical, 98% of the people will be sailing.
Well, you said that was concierge, though, right? They don't do a regular family ocean view with veranda?
That was part of, yeah, they do. That's part of the deluxe ocean view staterooms with veranda.
Okay.
So that would
that's
include
why the $299 is there.
the ocean view, or the family. Yep.
My bad.
No, that's okay. Now we have concierge 1-bedroom suite with veranda. That's up to just over 1,000 square feet with 2 bathrooms and a living room.
It's bigger than our first apartment.
Much bigger. What were we?
630.
630. It was 630 on the nut. I remember it wasn't 631. It was 630. And then we have the concierge royal suite with veranda, 1,759 square feet with 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a hot tub on the veranda. And I did tour this, and this was ridiculous. It was a 2-story, and I'm a bathroom guy. And you go upstairs and you go into the master bedroom, and then you go walking through a huge walk-in closet. And then on the other side of the closet was a spacious bathroom with a bathtub and a shower overlooking the ocean. And it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And we asked John about the windows. He said that they do tint, but then you
Okay.
can also bring down some shades for
Okay.
extra privacy. So,
For when you're in port or something like that.
I mean, you saw that video, didn't you?
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
thing's
amazing.
sweet, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and you think about it, like if you're at sea and there's nobody around, just you staring out at the ocean with nobody else
Yep.
to bother you.
Taking a nice bath,
Mhm.
reading a book,
Glass
having
of
a
wine.
cocktail from your refrigerator downstairs. Plus, they're going to stock it. Your concierge host is going to hook you up with whatever adult beverages you like.
Now, is it true that concierge and the interior staterooms sell out first?
Yes, that is true. He told me that the interior go really fast. So if you have somebody who wants a book, get them in there right away. But yeah, those are
Okay.
typically the first two, which is it's the cheapest and the most expensive,
Right, which is an interesting dichotomy.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It makes sense. So
right.
no, I would assume like a Volkswagen or some of those
Like
mid-tier
a
companies,
Maybach.
they sell a lot of the lower tiers
Right.
and a lot of the highest tiers, and the in between, like the Jettas, probably don't sell as much as.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just going out on a limb. I could be 100% wrong. If anybody wants to fact check us who are listening, let us know. What else are we going to talk about here?
Now, what's the benefit of the concierge level? Is it like it's like staying club level in a hotel, right? You have a lounge.
You have a lounge. So they have a kicked up lunch that they said is phenomenal. And that's where you get to meet who may be your concierge host.
This is on embarkation day,
And
yes.
on embarkation day, yes. But they do have breakfast. I believe it was breakfast, lunch, and then snacks. I don't think they do a dinner in the concierge lounge.
Okay. But they have some kind of a cocktail hour, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they have like cocktail evenings.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that you can get cocktails all day long when you're in concierge.
Okay.
Um,
So it's basically having a drink package.
mm-hmm. And a Wi-Fi package.
Okay. I think they do dessert too.
They do an evening dessert. That
Okay.
is correct. Yep.
And then do they have dedicated outdoor space as well? Yes.
Yeah, upstairs they had a hot tub.
But you said it's got what, like 11 pools on it or something, right? The ship?
What's that?
You said the ship has 11 pools on it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of pools.
Yeah, over. Well, we looked at they're a lot they're on the smaller side, but on that main family deck where they show the movies and have shows, there were what, 4 or 5 just on that deck, smaller
Yeah,
ones,
kind of smaller
named
ones.
after like Donald,
Yeah,
Daisy,
different
Mickey, Minnie.
characters.
Yeah, it says on the private sun deck that it has shaded lounges and just a hot tub and bar service. That's on deck 13 for those of you who are purchasing concierge level category.
Okay. So now Disney doesn't do like all the, kind of Royal Caribbean things, like the big slides and all the splashy rides and whatever, but they do have a couple of slides on this ship.
Yeah, they have the Aqua Mouse, which is a 760-foot water coaster that wraps around the top deck, featuring show scenes inside. I heard that was really cool.
And when they say coaster, I think you actually go down on like a tube.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah, it's not a roller coaster. It's like a
Right.
water. Yeah, it's something that you would see in a water park. Yeah, they don't have as much as you're going to see on a Royal Caribbean. Disney Cruise Line does not have casinos, and they don't have drink packages.
Unless you stay concierge.
Yes.
They also do have dedicated adult space.
And they said that what they learned was that they put one of their adult spaces on a higher deck because they said kids were trickling in. Not that they were doing it intentionally, but they would go to get a soda or an ice cream and just kind of wander off. And the adult space, because remember on the Dream, the adult space was right behind.
Yes.
So it was right where you get the sodas and the soft serve ice cream. And a lot of times kids would just wander in there. So they have a big adult area on a different deck. It's actually deck 13. It's called Quiet Cove.
So it's probably right near the concierge area.
Yeah. Yep, that would make sense. It is beautiful. They got multiple hot tubs, an infinity pool. Because I believe on the Dream, we just had, it was a decent size pool with a swim up bar, right?
Yeah, I think there was a hot tub too.
There was, yeah.
And they had a bunch of lounge. It was nice. I think they had a swim up bar and a regular bar, maybe.
What, on the Treasure?
On the Dream.
Oh, did they?
I think so. And it was right, the coffee shop you entered from the adult area as well.
That's correct. And that was a great coffee shop, wasn't it?
It was. Now, one of the big attractions, I think, right now on the Treasure, if people are thinking about Disney cruises, is they are workshopping a Moana show before it goes to Broadway.
Which I heard is absolutely phenomenal. It's called Disney, The Tale of Moana.
So that's kind of cool.
Yep.
And the other thing that you mentioned is the movie theaters.
They have 2 small movie theaters, and we toured them, and they can't fit more than 100 people in there, maybe a couple hundred. I mean, it was very, very small. And John did inform us that they get the latest movies that are appearing at your local, what are the
cinema?
Yeah, cinema. What's the big cinema called? The one that they have at Disney Springs.
I don't remember.
Like the big
yeah, I don't know. I've never been there.
Corporate ones. Well, they have countrywide. ABC something.
No idea.
Okay, doesn't really matter anyways. Talk bars. The bars were really themed well. They actually had an Irish sports bar that me and hippie guy would definitely frequent. That looks super chill, laid back. They have what they call Skipper Society, which is Jungle Cruise themed. They have the Haunted Mansion Parlor, which kids are welcome during the day. And then I believe it was 5 that they closed it down for adults.
Okay. That one's gotten a lot of buzz. I've heard a lot of kind of vloggers and everything talk about that one.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, it's, you feel like you're in the stretching room in that bar. I mean, it's just got all the, and it's really cool. And I'm not a big fan of overly themed spaces, but this was really cool. What else do we have? We have a piano bar, which is called Scat Cat Lounge. And what is that themed after?
Aristocats.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I've never seen that. Have you seen that?
When I was little.
Okay. They've got the Periscope Pub, which is themed on the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Which was a great ride.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
They have the similar one at Disneyland.
Yeah, but now it's Nemo themed.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
Yeah. They have a few coffee bars. The Rose, located on deck 12, which is Beauty and the Beast themed.
Which leads into their French restaurant, right? Enchanté.
Yeah.
Which is only on the Wish class ships. Is that correct?
I believe it's on a few.
New...
Because it replaced Remy.
Okay.
Which would make sense. French restaurant for French restaurant, right?
Yep. But the footage is gorgeous.
The
menu looks insane.
It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm looking at the prices. It's $135 per person for dinner, with a higher end collection of $205 per person and lunch comes in between 105 and 145. So you're looking, that's pretty steep because they do discount some of their add-on restaurants because technically you are paying to eat in the main dining room. So
But you can either do a prefix or a la carte.
yep, they had a prefix at
And you can add on wine pairings or champagne
that is
pairings as
correct.
well.
That is correct.
But I did see somebody who said that the menu is the same whether you go for lunch or dinner.
Yep. Yep, we did see that. What else do they have for specialty? They have Palo the Steakhouse, which from my understanding is a steakhouse in Palo. So you get the best of both worlds. You can have your typical Italian flair that we had when we were on the Dream,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a steakhouse. So if you want to get a good steak,
Okay.
you can have that.
That's a good combo.
$55 for brunch or dinner. And here's a tip. Try to book the brunch. I heard the brunch blows you away. People have said it is the best flatbread and chicken parm. They said the chicken parm at Palo brunch
Really?
is off the charts. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're a big chicken parm guy.
I love chicken parm. Where was a good one that I got on Disney property? Il Molino.
Right.
It was a bone-in chicken parm. That thing was absolutely gorgeous.
It was the size of your head.
It was. That's over at the Walt Disney World Swan Resort. Now, we'll continue with the restaurants because they have Marceline Market, which they do not call... They don't call these places buffets.
Because they're not self-serve,
Because
right?
they're not self-serve, and buffet, they said, has a dirty kind of feel.
Right.
So these are, they help you. You go up and I'll tell them, give me 2 pieces of the prime rib. I got prime rib. I got broccoli. I got mashed potatoes. And I got peel and eat shrimp cocktail. I had a Coke. And I had a cup of coffee.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a cup of coffee.
How was it?
It wasn't bad. It was your typical Joffrey's.
Was it Joffrey's
Yeah,
on
it
the
was.
ship
It
still?
wasn't bad.
But you liked it, right? You said the food was
The
good.
food was fantastic. It was very clean. And what John said, he said, I'm very surprised because he was such a great guide. When we got there, we put our backpacks on our chair and he said, put all your stuff down and I'll stay here and watch it for you. And this was at noon and people were getting on the ship and it was not crowded. And we ate for a good hour. They gave us noon to 1. And even when we were leaving, there were plenty. It was probably 50% occupied. So there were plenty of
Really?
spots in the dining room to eat.
It's probably a combination of people who either hadn't boarded yet, people who maybe went to another location to eat, and people who just hadn't gotten there yet.
And Marceline Market, for those of you unfamiliar with Walt Disney's story, is actually the city that he grew up in Missouri, Marceline, Missouri.
And the theming was nice.
It was fine. It wasn't like overwhelming or anything. Yeah,
Okay.
it was fine. Now we have Mickey and Friends Festival of Food. So on the main deck, they have quite a few quick services, as they call it, where you can get burgers, dogs, pizza. There's a barbecue place that my friend Zach told me about, that our business development manager told us about when he was giving the tour. And my friend Hippie Guy, who was from Austin, Texas, he told me about this barbecue place. They said it's some of the best barbecue you will ever have. Not on a cruise line, but you will ever have.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some pretty good
Those are very
endorsements.
strong words. Those are very strong words, especially from a guy who lives in Texas.
Right. Absolutely.
We have Plaza de Coco. Now, these are going to be part of your rotational dining. And Susie, if you wouldn't mind, could you explain how the rotational dining works on Disney Cruise Line?
So you rotate through their restaurants. So each night you eat in a different restaurant and your serving team goes with you. So you have the same servers throughout your trip, which is really nice because they get to know you and your preferences. And, they know if you want wine with dinner, they know if you don't like, garlic or, something strange, if you have any food allergies, and it makes it a much more seamless experience.
Yeah. Like John mentioned, he said if you order a Diet Coke, when you get there on your second night, you will have a Diet Coke on your table waiting for you.
It's really nice.
And you did mention that you sit with the same people too?
I did not mention that, but yeah,
Okay.
you typically have an assigned table and you are with the same people every night. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can request a table for two. You can request to be moved, but it seemed to us from our cruise experience that they really did try to make an effort in how they paired you with your table mates.
Yeah, because when we were on the Dream, we were on an 8-top. And we were all similar in age. I'd say plus or minus 6 to 8 years old. So we were all in the same age. We really fell in love with all of our. We took pictures the last night of our group. We really had a good time. There was no awkwardness
no, everybody was great.
Yeah, we had a good time. So I do like rotational dining. I think you really liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's a nice way to experience all the different restaurants instead of kind of getting into that mindset like, oh, we ate here and it's good.
And it was
so we
good,
know
right?
the food's good. We'll just keep going here.
We'll go get another steak. Exactly. So part of the rotational dining is Plaza de Coco, which is flavors of Mexico. We walked through there. It is people were having lunch, and they do a couple shows during dinner,
which are related to the movie.
Yep, I've never seen.
Right.
We have World of Marvel, which is self-explanatory. Now, John did say a lot of adults are going to be reluctant going in here. They said, watch some of the movies. There's a lot of good adult movies that you'll enjoy. He said, so watch some Marvel movies before you get on board.
I have heard a lot of adults who are really big into the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So, it can't hurt. We watch Guardians of the Galaxy. We like that.
Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah. And then we have 1923, Taste of Hollywood. And it totally reminded me of the Hollywood Brown Derby that you're going to go to. You're going to find that at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Darker woods, totally had that Hollywood vibe.
Similar menu? Did
Hence
you see
the
menus
name.
at all?
I didn't see I didn't get to see the menu, but
well, it's a good mix.
Yeah, it is. Mexican is interesting because the Mexican place, I want to say, almost reminded me of Skipper Canteen.
Really?
Yes, the interior.
It didn't remind you of the Mexico Pavilion?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Now, one of the things that you said you thought I would really like is the spa.
Well, you ever met a spa that you didn't like?
Yeah, I've been to some that were subpar.
Now, what'd you think of the spa on the Dream?
I thought it was lovely.
Okay. This is better.
Okay.
Okay.
And how so?
First of all, we went into the cold room, and the guy I was with, he didn't have his cup of coffee in the morning. He was vlogging for the company that he works for, and he had a splitting headache. And he said that when he went to the cold room, it made his headache feel better.
Really?
Yeah, in the cold room, it wasn't terribly cold. I want to say like in the 30s, so it was noticeably cooler, but it wasn't like you're walking into
Siberia.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Minneapolis, St. Paul.
In the winter, in
Right.
January.
But that was nice. They had those chase lounges. What do they call? What's the correct term for those?
What, the heated loungers?
Yes, that we were on. Just heated lounges. Okay, heated lounges. They had those, but they were situated more in the middle, and they were playing the soothing music because the ones that we were on was right against the windows on the Dream. And whenever we got back from Italy, we'd get in our bathing suit and go chill out there because we had walked 40 miles. And remember, the captain would fire up the engines, and you could hear them vibrating when we were around those chase lounges.
Yep.
So this is more interior area of the spa.
Okay.
They had all the similar things. They had the massage rooms. They had locker rooms. They had a huge fitness center.
Okay.
But what I
Did they still
found,
have the hot tubs and everything?
yeah, that's what I was going to say. What I found noticeably different was that they had the hot tubs outside, but then they had a lot of loungers and what did I call them? The hammocks, but they're like the sitting hammocks
Did you
where it
say
has
they were
a,
like swinging
yeah, like
chairs
swinging chairs, all padded.
with day beds?
Yeah, yep, daybed. Totally chill out there. It was. If you're going on a Disney cruise, look at upgrading. For the price, it wasn't too bad to upgrade to that spa package, which allowed us to get into those hot tubs and use those
Right.
heated chase lounges.
Yeah, you
Definitely
can
worth
get a
the
day
price.
pass usually.
Yep.
But like Mike said, we did it for the week because we just knew that with all the walking, we were gonna want to decompress.
And you're going to want to either pre-book or get it the day of the cruise because after you leave, the prices go up a little bit. So keep that in mind.
Okay,
Okay, let's take a look. You want to look at like some pricing?
sure.
Just for an example, I was looking. I didn't want to go out of season. I wanted to give you a true estimate of if you were to go with your family. So I booked out a July 10th through the 17th. The Treasure I mentioned that they're 7-night cruises. So this is
So they're all 7 nights.
all 7 nights.
Okay.
That is correct. So you have day 1 at sea, day 2 at sea, day 3 Cozumel, Mexico, day 4 Georgetown, Grand Cayman, day 5 Falmouth, Jamaica, day 6 at sea, day 7 Disney Castaway Cay, and day 8 Port Canaveral, arriving back at Port Canaveral.
This is just a sample itinerary. They don't all do the same
That is
itinerary.
correct. This
all the
was
time.
just a simple,
Okay.
a sample itinerary, right? Yeah, they go all over the place in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So we're looking at an inside stateroom that's starting at $5,975, so $5,975. That is for the two.
Oh, that is for the two.
That is for the two.
Okay.
Yep. Ocean View, which is going to be again the one with the porthole, that is $6,549. Veranda is starting at $7,459, and concierge $16,209. So over double
Wow.
of what a veranda is going to be.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're adding kids, the average is about $2,000 per child. So if you're a family of 4, add about $4,000 to those numbers.
Okay.
What other questions do you have?
I don't know that I have any questions. I mean, overall, I know you said the ships they have the same capacity, but you said it was a bigger ship. Did it felt more spacious?
It felt more spacious. We didn't talk a ton about the kids' activities, but there was that one thing that you loved was that half basketball court and then the half cornhole area.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Of foosball and table hockey and ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a 2-level space. It was really nice.
Yep. That was really cool.
Do they have a running track somewhere?
I don't think it's a dedicated. I'm not sure because we didn't see one because I know on the Dream it was kind of like the outer deck or whatever. I'm pretty sure that they would have one. I don't see why they would discontinue one, but
right. I
don't
mean, they
quote
had
me.
a ton of treadmills and things in the fitness center, so you can definitely find a place to run if you need to.
Yep.
So it sounds to me, because I mean, they had some great lounges on the Dream.
Yeah.
But these lounges sound like they're maybe kicked up a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that your impression?
That is my impression.
Okay. So this is a ship that you definitely want to take advantage of.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Susie, because I would love to go on the Disney Treasure.
Okay. I mean, are you planning on captaining it? Is that why you're wearing the hat, or what exactly is the rationale behind this
like wearing
outfit?
captain hats from time to time.
Okay.
You know what? As a matter of fact, just to embarrass you, I'm going to wear this tomorrow when we walk roadie.
You knock yourself out.
All right.
Not going to embarrass me. I'm not the one wearing it.
And I'm certainly not going to embarrass myself.
It's true.
You've known me for years. It's very difficult for me to embarrass myself, is it not?
Yeah, it's very difficult, yeah.
I wish who was
have a
ever
lot of
doing that
shame.
would stop doing.
No, you take great pride in people noticing your idiosyncrasies.
I'm comfortable with who I am. Let's just...
Well, that's a good thing.
Oh, it's got notes. Put out some notes.
Was there anything that you felt was worse than you thought from the dream? Like anything that was a drawback?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Now, one thing I did notice was the entry hall where the grand staircase is.
Yeah, we did watch families being welcome onto the ship. What you're gonna say that they had a stage? Yep,
which they did not have on the dream.
So my assumption is that they probably do their shows,
some kind of a show or a character meet and greet or something.
Yep,
which is nice.
On the dream, it was just in the lobby and on the staircases.
Right. So that's a nice feature. Keeps everything kind of contained.
I think what they do with their new ships is they enhance them. Obviously, they make them better. You know, they listen to the feedback from their customers and say, "Oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do this." I mean, they used to have
staff too. I'm sure they asked the staff, "Hey, what was a pain point for you?" Or
what kind of complaints did you get?
Right.
Absolutely.
What did you notice? You know, mobility wise, moving around the ship. Where were there jams? Where was it harder to maneuver? So they know where to add space. So my final question for you. Have you actually booked a trip yet that I don't know about?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Nope. There are no pending Disney Vacation Club contracts out there that you don't know about.
Okay.
And I have not booked a cruise that you know about. Was that the question or just... No, I have not. No, I have neither. I have not booked a cruise that you don't know about, but I also have not booked a cruise. So
okay.
I hope that answers your question.
It does answer my question.
Kind of tippy-toed and weaseled my way around that question, didn't I?
You know, semantics with you I have to be careful with. Isn't sure if maybe you got yourself an early birthday present.
No. I did not.
All right.
All right. You want us to wrap us up?
Yeah.
All right. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Travel with Mike and Kristen. All of our social media links will be in the show notes. And join our Facebook group, Travel with Mike and Kristen. For my co-host, Kristen, I'm Mike. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again soon.
Good night.